Hello everyone, I'm Blake. If you're new here, this is the channel where we upload videos every day to help you improve your English listening and speaking skills. Today, we're going to talk about overcoming challenges in daily life. I will share stories, examples, and practical tips to help you face difficult situations confidently. Let me start with a story about my friend Daniel. Daniel works in a busy tech company, and last year, he faced one of the biggest challenges of his life. He was assigned a project that required him to manage a team for the first time. He had excellent technical skills, but leading people was completely new to him. He felt nervous and unsure about how to handle conflicts or motivate his team. Daniel told me that at the beginning, he made many mistakes. He struggled with communication and often spent too much time trying to solve problems by himself. One day, a team member, Sarah, approached him and said, "Daniel, we can help you, but you need to trust us and delegate tasks." At first, he hesitated. He thought asking for help might make him look weak. But slowly he realized that true leadership is not about doing everything yourself. It's about guiding your team and trusting their abilities. Over the next few months, Daniel focused on learning how to communicate clearly, listen to feedback, and celebrate small achievements. He even started keeping a journal to track his progress and write down lessons from daily challenges. By the end of the project, not only had the team completed the project successfully, but Daniel also grew more confident in his role. He shared with me that this experience taught him an important lesson. Challenges are not obstacles. They are opportunities to grow. Now, let's talk about another example from my own life. A few years ago, I had to balance working full-time and studying for an advanced English exam. There were days when I felt exhausted, and sometimes I wanted to give up. My wife noticed my stress and suggested creating a strict schedule with breaks for rest and exercise. At first, I thought a schedule would make me feel even more pressured. But once I started following it, I noticed something amazing. The structure actually reduced my stress, improved my focus, and helped me make consistent progress. One of the biggest challenges in daily life is overcoming fear of failure. Many people hesitate to try something new because they worry about making mistakes. But let's remember the story of Daniel. He was afraid of failing as a team leader, yet he succeeded because he was willing to face his fear. Every small effort, every mistake, and every adjustment helped him move forward. Another tip is breaking challenges into smaller steps. If a problem seems too big, divide it into parts you can handle. For example, if you want to improve your English speaking skills, you don't need to speak perfectly immediately. Start by practicing for 10 minutes a day, recording yourself, or speaking with one trusted friend. These small steps gradually lead to big results. Let me share a story about my neighbor, Mr. Ahmed. He had always dreamed of running a small cafe, but he was unsure about finances and managing customers. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment, he started small, selling coffee from a tiny corner in his house. He faced mistakes, sometimes forgetting orders or mixing drinks incorrectly, but he didn't quit. He learned from every mistake, listened to customer feedback, and slowly expanded his cafe. Today, his cafe is well known in our neighborhood, and he often says that his failures taught him more than any book could. One more thing I want to share is the importance of positive thinking and resilience. Challenges are easier to face when you focus on solutions rather than problems. For example, last year my car broke down in the middle of a trip. I could have panicked or complained, but instead I called a service center, stayed calm, and used the time to plan the rest of my trip. This experience reminded me that staying calm and thinking clearly can turn unexpected problems into manageable situations. One important aspect of overcoming challenges is learning to adapt to unexpected situations. Life is rarely predictable, and those who succeed are often the ones who can adjust quickly. Let me give you an example from my friend Michael. Michael is an architect, and last year, a major construction project he was leading suddenly faced delays because a supplier couldn't deliver materials on time. He could have panicked, blamed others, or stressed endlessly. Instead, he analyzed the situation, communicated clearly with his team, and found alternative suppliers. He even rearranged the project schedule to make up for lost time. By staying calm and adaptable, Michael not only finished the project successfully, but also earned respect from both clients and colleagues. Another challenge many people face is balancing work and personal life. My friend Emma is a manager at a large company, and she often works long hours. A few months ago, she noticed that her stress levels were affecting her relationship with her husband. She decided to set boundaries, like turning off work notifications after 7 p.m. and spending quality time with her family. At first, it was difficult to say no to extra work, but she soon realized that protecting her personal time made her more productive during work hours. This shows that overcoming challenges is not only about external problems, but also about managing your own priorities and energy. Sometimes challenges come in the form of health or physical limitations. I remember a story about a friend named Kareem who wanted to run a marathon but had never exercised regularly. At first, he struggled with short runs and felt frustrated. Instead of giving up, he created a gradual plan, running a little further each week. He also focused on nutrition and rest. After several months, he completed his first marathon. What's remarkable here is the patience and persistence required. Many challenges are long-term, and the key is consistent effort, even when progress feels slow. Let's talk about overcoming fear in social situations. My colleague, Lisa, was invited to speak at a conference in front of hundreds of people. Public speaking terrified her, and she considered declining, but she decided to face her fear. She practiced her speech multiple times, asked for feedback from friends, and visualized a positive outcome. On the day of the conference, she spoke confidently, received applause, and felt proud of herself. Her story reminds us that preparation and visualization are powerful tools to overcome fear. Another challenge that is common in daily life is handling financial difficulties. My friend Ahmed once faced a sudden financial crisis when his small business suffered losses. He could have panicked or avoided the problem. Instead, he created a detailed plan. He listed all expenses, cut unnecessary costs, and explored additional income sources. He even took online courses to improve his business management skills. Within a year, his situation improved, and he was stronger, more knowledgeable, and more prepared for future challenges. This example shows that even financial difficulties can be overcome with planning, learning, and resilience. Sometimes challenges are emotional rather than practical. My friend Sophia experienced a difficult period after losing her father. She felt overwhelmed with grief and found it hard to continue her daily routine. She decided to start small, taking short walks, journaling her thoughts, and talking to close friends and her husband. Over time, she found strength and even started volunteering to help others facing loss. This shows that emotional challenges can be addressed step by step, and seeking support is not a weakness. It's a smart strategy to heal and grow. Let's focus on another example of learning from failure. My friend Robert attempted to launch a small online store. The first few months were difficult. Sales were low, and many customers left negative feedback. Instead of quitting, he analyzed the feedback carefully and adjusted his product descriptions, marketing approach, and website design. He also invested time in learning about digital marketing. Gradually, sales improved, and today his online store is thriving. Robert's story highlights that failure is not final. It's a learning opportunity if you're willing to adapt and persist. Facing challenges often requires developing new skills. For instance, my friend Fatima works as a teacher, but recently her school introduced online classes. Fatima initially struggled with technology and felt frustrated. Rather than avoiding the problem, she took online tutorials, asked colleagues for help, and practiced daily. After a few weeks, she became confident in managing online classes. Her experience shows that acquiring new skills can turn a challenge into an opportunity for growth. Now, let's discuss dealing with unexpected responsibilities at home. My friend Samir and his wife recently moved into a new house, and the repairs and arrangements were overwhelming. Samir was stressed, but he decided to break the tasks into smaller, manageable parts. Each weekend, they focused on one area: painting walls, arranging furniture, or fixing the plumbing. Step by step, the house became organized, and the process even brought them closer together. This example shows that dividing large challenges into small steps makes them easier to handle. Another key to overcoming challenges is maintaining a positive mindset. My friend Rebecca faced a long commute to work, which she initially hated. Instead of complaining every day, she started listening to educational podcasts and audiobooks during her commute. Not only did this make the time more enjoyable, but she also learned new skills and ideas that helped her professionally. Turning obstacles into learning opportunities is a powerful mindset for anyone facing daily challenges. Facing challenges sometimes requires making difficult decisions. My friend Daniel, whom I mentioned earlier, also faced a choice between staying in a comfortable position at his company or taking a risk by moving to a new company with more responsibility. After careful consideration, discussion with his wife, and evaluating long-term goals, he decided to take the new job. It was a challenging transition, but it helped him grow professionally and personally. This reminds us that courage often means making informed decisions despite uncertainty. In many situations, challenges test our patience and persistence. For example, my friend Anwar decided to learn a new language. He faced difficulties with pronunciation, grammar, and vocabulary. At times, it felt overwhelming, but he practiced every day, used flashcards, and joined language exchange groups. After months of persistent effort, he became fluent. His story shows that persistence, even when progress is slow, is essential to overcoming difficult tasks. Let's also talk about teamwork during challenges. My friend Rachel coordinates community, projects, and last year she had to organize a charity event with a limited budget. Initially, she was worried about meeting the expectations of volunteers and donors, but she realized that involving her team, assigning clear responsibilities, and motivating everyone made the process smoother. The event was successful, and Rachel learned that facing challenges with collaboration often produces better results than trying to manage everything alone. Another challenge many people face is handling criticism or negative feedback. My friend Omar, who is a writer, received harsh criticism on his first published article. At first, he felt discouraged, but instead of giving up, he carefully read the feedback and used it to improve his next article. He even joined a writing group to gain constructive insights. Over time, his writing skills improved significantly. Omar's experience reminds us that challenges often come disguised as feedback, and using them wisely can lead to growth. Sometimes challenges test our flexibility in thinking. My friend Layla runs a small bakery, and she faced a sudden supply shortage of key ingredients. She had to adjust recipes, try new techniques and creatively use available materials. Her flexibility allowed her to maintain quality and satisfy customers despite difficulties. This shows that creative thinking and adaptability are crucial when facing unexpected challenges. Let's consider challenges related to communication. My friend John had to give a presentation to international clients with different cultural expectations. Initially, he struggled to communicate clearly and feared making mistakes. He prepared carefully, practiced with colleagues, and researched cultural preferences. The presentation went well, and he received positive feedback. John's experience highlights that preparation, awareness, and effort can help overcome communication challenges. Facing challenges often requires self-discipline and consistency. My friend Nadia wanted to improve her fitness, but early attempts to exercise were inconsistent. She created a schedule, set achievable goals, and tracked her progress. Over time, her body and energy improved, and she felt proud of her achievement. Nadia's story shows that overcoming challenges is often a matter of consistent effort and self-discipline. Another aspect of overcoming challenges is accepting that mistakes are part of the process. My friend Hassan started learning how to cook for the first time. He burnt dishes, over-seasoned meals, and sometimes forgot ingredients. But instead of feeling defeated, he treated every mistake as a lesson. Gradually, his skills improved, and he can now cook delicious meals for his family. Hassan's experience reminds us that mistakes are natural and essential in the learning process. Overcoming challenges in daily life often requires building emotional resilience. My friend Khalid, for example, faced a very stressful situation when his small business lost a key client. The first few days were overwhelming, and he felt helpless. But instead of dwelling on stress, he focused on solutions. He analyzed what went wrong, contacted other potential clients, and sought advice from mentors. Gradually, his efforts paid off, and he gained new clients that were even more suitable for his business. Khalid often tells me that facing such challenges made him emotionally stronger and more prepared for future uncertainties. Another critical skill in overcoming challenges is time management. My friend Aisha works as a software engineer and also writes a personal blog. Managing both was exhausting, and she often felt she didn't have enough time for either. She decided to prioritize tasks by urgency and importance, creating a weekly plan for work and writing. She also set small daily goals and avoided distractions like unnecessary social media scrolling. Over time, she noticed that her productivity increased, and she could enjoy both her work and passion projects. Aisha's experience demonstrates that proper time management is a practical way to overcome daily life challenges. Let's talk about facing health-related challenges. My friend Rihan was diagnosed with a minor but chronic health issue. At first, he felt anxious and overwhelmed. However, he decided to educate himself about his condition, adopted a healthier diet, and included regular exercise in his routine. He also attended support groups and sought professional guidance. By taking small, consistent actions, Rihan improved his quality of life and felt empowered rather than defeated. His story shows that health challenges can be managed successfully with knowledge, planning, and persistence. Sometimes challenges involve adapting to cultural differences. My friend Farah moved to a new city for work, where people had very different customs and communication styles. Initially, she found it difficult to connect with colleagues and understand social norms. Instead of isolating herself, she observed carefully, asked questions politely, and gradually adapted her behavior. She also took language classes to communicate more effectively. Within a few months, Farah built strong relationships and felt comfortable in her new environment. This example highlights that cultural adaptation requires patience, observation, and open-mindedness. Facing challenges can also mean taking responsibility for mistakes. My friend Tarek once made an error in an important project at work, which caused minor delays. He could have blamed others, but he admitted his mistake immediately and suggested a solution to correct it. His honesty and proactive approach impressed his manager, and the team worked together to fix the issue. Tarek often says that taking responsibility not only solves problems faster, but also builds trust and respect. Another challenge people face is maintaining motivation during long-term goals. My friend Lena wanted to write a book, but progress was slow, and at times she felt discouraged. She started setting small milestones, like writing 500 words a day, and celebrated completing each chapter. She also joined a writers' group for accountability and encouragement. Gradually, she finished her book. Lena's story shows that breaking a large challenge into smaller, achievable goals helps maintain motivation and momentum. Challenges can also appear in family life. My friend Omar's wife recently started a new job, which required adjusting their daily routines and responsibilities at home. At first, Omar felt stressed managing chores, meals, and childcare. He decided to create a shared plan with his wife, assigning tasks and establishing routines. They communicated openly about expectations and supported each other. Over time, the process became smooth, and both felt more connected and less stressed. This demonstrates that teamwork and communication are essential to overcoming challenges in family life. Another situation involves dealing with sudden technical problems. My friend Sarah works remotely and relies heavily on technology. One day, her computer crashed in the middle of an important video call. Instead of panicking, she calmly explained the situation to her client, quickly switched to a backup device, and continued the meeting. She later learned how to maintain regular backups and troubleshoot common technical issues. Sarah's example shows that staying calm and prepared can turn unexpected technical challenges into manageable situations. Let's discuss learning from criticism in professional life. My friend Kamal is an engineer, and during a project review, his supervisor criticized his approach to a design problem. At first, Kamal felt defensive, but he decided to take notes, ask questions, and analyze the feedback. He revised his design, presented it again, and received praise for improvement. Kamal now sees criticism as a tool for growth rather than a personal attack. This mindset is powerful when facing professional and personal challenges. Sometimes challenges require stepping out of your comfort zone. My friend Nadia joined a community sports group even though she had no experience and felt self-conscious. The first few sessions were difficult, and she struggled to keep up. But by showing up consistently and asking for guidance, she improved her skills and made new friends. Nadia often says that stepping out of your comfort zone helped her grow both physically and socially. This example shows that growth usually begins at the edge of comfort. Facing challenges also involves balancing multiple responsibilities. My friend Imran manages a small business while taking care of his elderly parents. It is not easy to balance work, family, and personal life, but he developed strategies such as planning tasks in advance, prioritizing urgent matters, and asking for help when needed. By staying organized and maintaining a flexible mindset, Imran manages both responsibilities effectively. This example highlights that planning and delegation are crucial when facing complex challenges. Another important aspect is handling unexpected travel problems. My friend Yasmin planned a family trip, But during the journey, their flight was delayed and accommodations were not ready on arrival. She could have been frustrated, but she focused on problem solving, contacting the hotel, finding alternative activities, and keeping her family calm. By staying composed and resourceful, Yasmin turned a stressful situation into a memorable experience. This story shows that challenges often become manageable when approached calmly and creatively. Facing challenges can also mean recovering from setbacks. My friend Ahmed attempted a certification exam and failed the first time. He was disappointed but decided to analyze his mistakes, adjust his study strategy, and dedicate more time to practice. On his second attempt, he passed with a high score. Ahmed's story shows that setbacks are not failures. They are opportunities to learn, improve, and succeed. Sometimes challenges require emotional regulation under stress. My friend Fatima experienced a difficult meeting with her team where tensions rose and disagreements escalated. Instead of reacting impulsively, she focused on listening, staying calm, and guiding the conversation toward solutions. By maintaining emotional control, she turned a potentially negative situation into a productive discussion. Fatima's approach shows that managing emotions is a key part of overcoming challenges in both personal and professional settings. Another type of challenge is overcoming procrastination. My friend Samir often delayed tasks until the last minute, which caused stress and low-quality work. He decided to break his work into smaller steps, set deadlines for each step, and reward himself for completing tasks on time. Gradually, he became more disciplined, productive, and confident. This shows that managing procrastination is a challenge that can be overcome with planning, self-discipline, and positive reinforcement. Facing challenges sometimes involves making sacrifices for long-term benefits. My friend Layla wanted to save money to start her own business. She cut unnecessary expenses, avoided impulse purchases, and dedicated her savings to investments for her business. Although it required short-term sacrifices, her efforts eventually allowed her to start a successful venture. Layla's story teaches that overcoming financial and personal challenges often requires patience, sacrifice, and long-term thinking. Another challenge is dealing with conflicts effectively. My friend Omar had a disagreement with a colleague over project priorities. Instead of ignoring the conflict, he scheduled a meeting, listened to the colleague's concerns, and proposed compromises that benefited both sides. The conflict was resolved, and their collaboration improved. Omar's example shows that addressing conflicts calmly and constructively is essential to overcoming interpersonal challenges. Some challenges require maintaining focus under distractions. My friend Rashid works in a busy office with constant interruptions. He started using techniques like blocking specific hours for deep work, turning off notifications, and using a timer to stay focused. Over time, his productivity improved, and he completed projects more efficiently. This shows that focus and concentration are key to managing challenges effectively. Facing challenges can also mean building resilience after failure in relationships. My friend Amina faced tension with her neighbor over shared community responsibilities. Initially, she felt frustrated, but she approached the situation with calm communication, listened to the neighbor's perspective, and found compromises that worked for both. This restored harmony and strengthened mutual respect. Amina's experience highlights that patience, communication, and empathy are essential to overcoming social challenges. Overcoming challenges in daily life often involves setting clear goals. My friend Imran wanted to learn advanced photography, but at first he felt overwhelmed by the techniques and equipment. Instead of trying to master everything at once, he set specific goals. First, he would focus on understanding lighting, then on composition, and finally on editing. By breaking his goal into smaller steps, he gradually improved and even started selling his photos online. Imran's experience shows that clear goals help transform overwhelming challenges into manageable steps. Another important aspect is asking for help when needed. My friend Yasir started a small construction business, but lacked experience in accounting and financial planning. He could have struggled alone, but he chose to hire an accountant and seek advice from experienced entrepreneurs. With their guidance, his business grew steadily. Yasir often emphasizes that facing challenges doesn't mean doing everything by yourself. Asking for help is a smart strategy to overcome obstacles. Challenges often require practicing patience. My friend Farida wanted to learn how to play the piano. Initially, she struggled with hand coordination and rhythm. At first, progress was very slow, and she felt discouraged. Instead of giving up, she practiced for short periods every day and gradually improved. After months of consistent effort, she could play complete songs confidently. Farida's story highlights that patience and persistence are key when facing challenges that require skill development. Sometimes challenges involve navigating new responsibilities at work. My friend Omar was promoted to lead a team for the first time. He faced difficulties managing multiple personalities, deadlines, and expectations. Instead of feeling stressed, he studied leadership techniques, sought mentorship, and held regular meetings with his team to improve communication. Slowly, he learned to motivate his team effectively. Omar's experience shows that new responsibilities can be challenging, but also offer great opportunities for personal and professional growth. Another example involves dealing with unexpected delays and disruptions. My friend Rania planned a large family event, but on the day of the gathering, heavy rain delayed all outdoor arrangements. She could have felt frustrated or disappointed, but she quickly adapted by moving the event indoors, rearranging activities, and keeping everyone engaged. The event was successful, and everyone enjoyed themselves. Rania's story demonstrates that flexibility and quick thinking are essential skills to overcome unexpected challenges. Facing challenges also requires embracing continuous learning. My friend Tariq is a software developer who faced difficulties when new technologies were introduced at his company. He could have resisted change, but instead, he enrolled in online courses, attended workshops, and experimented with new programming techniques. Over time, he became proficient and even received recognition for his adaptability. Tariq's experience illustrates that embracing learning helps turn professional challenges into opportunities for growth. Sometimes, challenges are physical or environmental. My friend Kareem enjoys hiking, but during one trip, he faced a sudden storm on a mountain trail. He could have panicked, but he stayed calm, followed safety procedures, and guided his group carefully to shelter. Everyone remained safe, and the experience became a lesson in preparation, patience, and decision-making under pressure. Kareem's story shows that even physically demanding challenges can be managed with careful planning and composure. Challenges in daily life often involve developing self-discipline. My friend Amina wanted to wake up earlier to exercise before work, but at first she kept hitting the snooze button. She created a routine, placed her alarm across the room, and tracked her progress in a journal. Within weeks, she developed a strong habit and felt more energetic and productive. Amina's story highlights that self-discipline transforms small actions into lasting achievements, helping overcome personal challenges. Another key to overcoming challenges is handling uncertainty effectively. My friend Zainab was offered a job in a new city, but wasn't sure if it was the right choice. Instead of rushing into a decision, she researched the city, talked to people who lived there, and compared the benefits and drawbacks. Her careful consideration helped her make a confident decision. Zainab's experience shows that uncertainty can be managed with research, analysis, and patience. Facing challenges sometimes requires strategic planning. My friend Hamid wanted to expand his family business, but limited resources made it difficult. He created a detailed plan, analyzed market trends, and identified cost-effective strategies. He also delegated tasks to trusted team members. By following his plan carefully, his business grew steadily. Hamid's story highlights that planning is often the bridge between challenge and success. Sometimes, challenges involve communication in stressful situations. My friend Layla had to negotiate a contract with international clients who had very strict requirements. She could have been intimidated, but she prepared thoroughly, anticipated questions, and practiced clear explanations. During the negotiation, she remained calm and professional, ultimately reaching an agreement that satisfied both parties. Layla's story shows that preparation and communication skills help overcome challenging interactions. Another common challenge is managing personal expectations. My friend Samir wanted to run a marathon, but initially expected to finish without much training. After struggling during his first few attempts, he realized he needed a realistic approach. He adjusted his training schedule, set achievable milestones, and celebrated small progress. By managing his expectations, he eventually completed the marathon. Samir's experience highlights that realistic expectations reduce frustration and increase motivation when facing challenges. Facing challenges also involves learning to prioritize. My friend Fatima had a busy week with work deadlines, family responsibilities, and personal projects. At first, she felt overwhelmed, trying to do everything at once. She created a priority list, focusing on urgent tasks first, and delegating or postponing less important activities. By managing her priorities, she accomplished more with less stress. Fatima's story shows that prioritization is a practical strategy to navigate complex challenges efficiently. Sometimes, challenges test our ability to stay calm under pressure. My friend Rashid experienced a sudden technical failure during a critical client presentation. Instead of panicking, he calmly explained the issue, switched to a backup system, and continued the presentation successfully. Rashid's story demonstrates that calmness and quick thinking are crucial for overcoming high-pressure situations. Another important skill for overcoming challenges is developing resilience through daily habits. My friend Nadia started a morning routine that included exercise, meditation, and goal setting. She noticed that when minor problems arose during the day, she remained more composed and solution-focused. Her story illustrates that daily habits build resilience, helping to face challenges effectively. Facing challenges sometimes requires creativity and resourcefulness. My friend Omar runs a small cafe and once faced a supply shortage of fresh ingredients. Instead of canceling orders, he created alternative menu options using available resources. Customers appreciated the creativity, and the cafe maintained its reputation. Omar's experience shows that thinking creatively helps turn obstacles into opportunities. Challenges often involve improving self-confidence. My friend Rania struggled with public speaking during team meetings. She practiced regularly, recorded herself, and sought feedback. Gradually, her confidence grew, and she became a respected voice in her team. Rania's story demonstrates that self-confidence develops through preparation, practice, and persistence, enabling us to overcome challenges more effectively. Sometimes, challenges test long-term perseverance. My friend Ahmed started learning a musical instrument as an adult. Initial progress was slow, and he sometimes felt discouraged. Instead of quitting, he committed to daily practice, tracked his progress, and celebrated small improvements. After months of perseverance, he became proficient. Ahmed's story highlights that sustained effort over time is often the key to overcoming difficult challenges. Another example involves managing interpersonal challenges. My friend Sarah faced conflicts with a neighbor over shared property boundaries. Instead of escalating the argument, she calmly communicated her perspective, listened to the neighbor, and suggested fair compromises. The issue was resolved peacefully, strengthening mutual respect. Sarah's story shows that communication, empathy, and patience are essential to overcoming interpersonal challenges. Facing challenges also involves being proactive rather than reactive. My friend Tariq noticed recurring problems in his team at work. Instead of waiting for crises to happen, he implemented preventive measures, trained his team, and established clear procedures. Over time, the team became more efficient and problems were reduced. Tariq's story demonstrates that proactive action is often more effective than reacting to problems after they arise. Sometimes challenges involve learning to manage stress effectively. My friend Layla experiences high-pressure days at her office, especially during project deadlines. She practices mindfulness, short breaks, and deep breathing exercises to manage stress. These techniques help her stay focused and calm, enabling her to tackle challenges more effectively. Layla's story shows that stress management is an essential skill in overcoming daily life challenges. Another challenge is developing problem-solving skills. My friend Hassan encountered repeated issues with a delivery system at his small business. Instead of complaining, he analyzed the process, identified bottlenecks, and implemented solutions. His problem-solving approach improved efficiency and customer satisfaction. Hassan's experience shows that challenges can become opportunities for skill development when approached analytically. Overcoming challenges often involves developing self-awareness. My friend Adil faced difficulties in managing his emotions at work. He would get frustrated during meetings when things did not go as planned. Instead of ignoring this, he started observing his reactions carefully, noting situations that triggered stress. He practiced pausing before responding and reflecting on his feelings. Over time, he became more composed and effective in handling conflicts. Adil's story demonstrates that self-awareness is a powerful tool for overcoming both personal and professional challenges. Another important skill is embracing constructive feedback. My friend Miriam, who works in marketing, received feedback that her reports lacked clarity. Initially, she felt disappointed, but she decided to analyze the comments, asked colleagues for examples, and implemented suggested improvements. Over time, her reports became much clearer and impactful. Miriam's experience highlights that challenges often come disguised as feedback, and using it wisely can turn weaknesses into strengths. Sometimes challenges involve time pressure and deadlines. My friend Fahad, a project manager, faced a situation where multiple tasks had overlapping deadlines. Instead of panicking, he broke tasks into smaller steps, delegated responsibilities, and used digital tools to track progress. By staying organized, he completed all tasks efficiently without compromising quality. Fahad's story illustrates that proper planning and time management can transform high-pressure situations into achievable challenges. Facing challenges also requires practicing resilience after failure. My friend Sana started a small online shop, but the first few months were slow with very few customers. Instead of giving up, she analyzed what was working and what was not, improved her marketing, and focused on customer service. Slowly, sales increased, and the business became profitable. Sana's story shows that resilience and persistence turn initial failure into eventual success. Another common challenge is dealing with interpersonal misunderstandings. My friend Noman had a disagreement with a colleague over responsibilities in a collaborative project. Instead of letting tension escalate, he requested a private discussion, clarified his intentions, and listened carefully to his colleague's concerns. They reached an agreement and completed the project successfully. Noman's story highlights that communication, empathy, and openness are essential when overcoming interpersonal challenges. Sometimes challenges involve adapting to new technology. My friend Hina, a teacher, faced difficulties when her school switched to online teaching. She initially struggled with video conferencing tools, online grading systems, and virtual classroom management. Instead of resisting the change, she attended training sessions, experimented with features, and practiced before classes. Within a few weeks, she managed online classes confidently and even helped colleagues learn new tools. Hina's story demonstrates that embracing change and learning new skills help overcome technological challenges. Facing challenges can also mean managing unexpected financial burdens. My friend Samira's car broke down suddenly, requiring expensive repairs. Instead of panicking, she assessed her budget, postponed non-essential expenses, and looked for affordable solutions. She also researched ways to prevent future breakdowns. By taking practical steps, she managed the situation without stress. Samira's example shows that thoughtful planning and problem solving are key to managing financial challenges. Another challenge involves maintaining motivation during long-term projects. My friend Bilal wanted to write a research paper but struggled with procrastination. He set small daily writing targets, joined a study group for accountability, and celebrated progress after completing each section. Gradually, he completed the paper successfully. Bilal's story shows that breaking large tasks into smaller goals sustains motivation and builds confidence. Challenges often test decision-making skills. My friend Layla faced a difficult decision about accepting a promotion that required relocation. She considered career growth, family needs, and lifestyle changes. After careful discussion with her husband and weighing pros and cons, she made an informed decision. The experience taught her that facing challenges often requires deliberate thinking and planning, rather than impulsive choices. Sometimes challenges involve handling criticism constructively. My friend Imran wrote an article that received negative feedback from readers. Initially, he felt discouraged, but instead of ignoring it, he analyzed the comments, researched the topic further, and improved his writing style. The next article received positive responses. Imran's story shows that using criticism to learn and improve is a vital strategy for overcoming challenges. Facing challenges also requires building a support network. My friend Fatima was preparing for a difficult professional exam. She joined a study group, shared resources with peers, and discussed difficult topics regularly. The encouragement and shared knowledge helped her overcome obstacles and pass the exam with high marks. Fatima's experience demonstrates that seeking support from others makes challenges easier to face. Another common challenge is adapting to sudden changes in routine. My friend Rayhan was used to working in an office, but his company shifted to remote work unexpectedly. Initially, he felt unproductive and isolated. Instead of giving up, he set a structured schedule, created a dedicated workspace, and communicated regularly with colleagues. He adapted successfully and even found remote work more efficient. Rehan's story highlights that flexibility and proactive adaptation help overcome unexpected life changes. Sometimes challenges involve overcoming fear of public speaking. My friend Sarah had to present at a conference, and she felt nervous. She prepared thoroughly, practiced multiple times, and visualized a successful outcome. During the presentation, she remained calm and confident, delivering her message clearly. Sarah's story demonstrates that preparation and visualization reduce fear and increase confidence in challenging situations. Facing challenges can also mean learning from mistakes without discouragement. My friend Tarek started a new business and initially made errors in pricing products. Instead of feeling defeated, he reviewed the mistakes, adjusted his pricing strategy, and sought advice from experienced entrepreneurs. Over time, the business became successful. Tarek's story shows that mistakes are valuable lessons that help overcome challenges and achieve long-term success. Another challenge involves handling pressure in competitive environments. My friend Aisha participated in a national sports competition and faced strong competitors. She focused on training, analyzed opponents' strategies, and maintained a positive mindset. During the competition, she performed well and achieved a personal best. Aisha's story demonstrates that preparation, focus, and mental resilience are crucial for overcoming competitive challenges. Sometimes challenges test problem solving under time constraints. My friend Omar managed a large event that faced unexpected logistical issues. Instead of panicking, he quickly assessed options, delegated tasks, and implemented solutions effectively. The event went smoothly despite obstacles. Omar's story shows that quick thinking, organization, and calm decision-making are essential when facing urgent challenges. Facing challenges often requires adapting personal habits. My friend Layla wanted to improve her health, but struggled with poor eating habits. She gradually replaced unhealthy snacks with nutritious options, introduced regular exercise, and tracked her progress. Over time, her energy improved, and she felt healthier. Layla's story highlights that modifying daily habits can help overcome personal challenges effectively. Another common challenge is overcoming isolation or loneliness. My friend Zane faced long hours working remotely and felt disconnected. He decided to join local community groups, attend workshops, and network with colleagues virtually. This helped him build social connections, stay motivated, and maintain mental well-being. Zane's experience shows that reaching out and building connections helps overcome emotional challenges. Challenges can also involve handling family responsibilities. My friend Ahmed had to manage work while caring for his children when his wife was traveling for work. Initially, it was exhausting, but he created a daily schedule, involved the children in tasks, and maintained open communication with his wife. The experience improved his time management and strengthened family bonds. Ahmed's story demonstrates that planning, patience, and communication are essential to managing family-related challenges. Facing challenges often requires creativity in resource management. My friend Sarah wanted to renovate her home, but had a limited budget. She researched cost-effective materials, repurposed old furniture, and found skilled local contractors. By being creative and resourceful, she achieved her goal within budget. Sarah's experience shows that resourcefulness is a powerful tool in overcoming financial and practical challenges. Another challenge is overcoming mental blocks. My friend Rihan wanted to write a professional report, but struggled with writer's block. He started free writing ideas, creating outlines, and discussing concepts with colleagues. Slowly, his creativity returned, and he completed the report successfully. Rihan's story shows that mental blocks can be overcome through structured approaches and active problem solving. Sometimes challenges involve learning to manage multiple tasks simultaneously. My friend Layla had overlapping deadlines at work and personal commitments. She made a detailed schedule, prioritized tasks, and used digital tools to track progress. By staying organized and focused, she completed all tasks efficiently. Layla's experience demonstrates that multitasking effectively requires planning, focus, and adaptability. Facing challenges often involves building self-confidence through practice. My friend Hassan wanted to improve his negotiation skills. He practiced role-playing with colleagues, studied strategies, and reflected on performance. Gradually, he became more confident and successful in real negotiations. Hassan's story highlights that consistent practice builds confidence, enabling people to overcome challenging situations. Overcoming challenges often involves developing flexibility in thinking. My friend Noman experienced a sudden change at work when his manager announced a completely new approach to a project he had been planning for months. Initially, he felt frustrated and resistant. Instead of giving up, he took time to understand the new approach, brainstormed creative solutions, and adjusted his plan accordingly. In the end, the project succeeded, and Noman gained recognition for his adaptability. His experience shows that flexible thinking is crucial for navigating unexpected challenges in both professional and personal life. Another challenge is overcoming procrastination and lack of motivation. My friend Aisha had been postponing a personal project for months, a research article she wanted to publish. Every day, she felt the weight of unfinished work, which increased her stress. Instead of letting the procrastination continue, she divided the article into smaller sections, set daily writing goals, and celebrated completing each section. Within weeks, she completed the article and submitted it successfully. Aisha's story highlights that breaking large tasks into smaller steps helps overcome mental blocks and encourages consistent progress. Sometimes, challenges involve adjusting to new responsibilities in family life. My friend Rashid and his wife recently became parents, and managing daily routines was overwhelming. At first, Rashid felt stressed and unsure about how to balance work and family responsibilities. He decided to establish a structured daily schedule, delegate household tasks where possible, and communicate openly with his wife about needs and priorities. Over time, they developed a rhythm that worked for both, and their stress levels decreased. Rashid's experience shows that planning, communication, and teamwork are essential for overcoming challenges in family life. Facing challenges can also require learning to stay calm under pressure. My friend Fatima works in customer service and often faces frustrated clients. One day, a client became very upset about a delayed delivery. Instead of reacting emotionally, Fatima listened carefully, acknowledged the client's concerns, and offered practical solutions. By staying composed, she resolved the issue smoothly, and the client appreciated her professionalism. Fatima's story demonstrates that another example involves overcoming fear of failure. My friend Kareem wanted to start a small business, but was afraid of losing his savings. Instead of avoiding the risk, he created a detailed business plan, conducted market research, and started small to test the idea. Gradually, he gained confidence, expanded his business, and became successful. Kareem's story highlights that fear is a natural part of challenges, but careful planning, preparation, and gradual steps can help overcome it. Challenges can also come in the form of managing unexpected setbacks in health. My friend Layla suffered a minor injury while exercising, which prevented her from following her usual fitness routine. Initially, she felt frustrated, but instead of stopping all activity, she consulted a physiotherapist and adjusted her exercises to focus on safe alternatives. Over time, she recovered fully and continued her fitness journey stronger than before. Layla's experience shows that setbacks are temporary obstacles that can be overcome with patience and adaptation. Facing challenges often involves developing strong problem-solving skills. My friend Omar runs a small cafe, and one day several orders were delayed due to a supplier issue. Instead of panicking, he quickly assessed available resources, adjusted the menu, and communicated clearly with customers. By thinking creatively and acting decisively, he managed the situation effectively. Omar's story demonstrates that challenges often require practical thinking and resourcefulness. Another challenge is maintaining focus in a distracting environment. My friend Sarah works in a busy office with constant interruptions. Initially, she struggled to complete her tasks efficiently. She started using techniques such as scheduling focused work periods, turning off unnecessary notifications, and keeping a priority list. Over time, her productivity increased significantly. Sarah's experience shows that discipline and focus are essential for overcoming challenges in a demanding environment. Sometimes challenges involve learning to communicate effectively. My friend Tariq needed to present a proposal to senior management, and he felt nervous about conveying complex ideas clearly. He prepared visual aids, practiced his speech, and anticipated potential questions. During the presentation, he communicated his ideas confidently, answered questions clearly, and received approval for his proposal. Tariq's story demonstrates that preparation, clarity, and confidence are key tools in overcoming communication challenges. Facing challenges also requires developing resilience in the face of criticism. My friend Nadia submitted a project report that received negative feedback from her supervisor. Initially, she felt disappointed, but she decided to carefully analyze the feedback, identify areas for improvement, and revise her report accordingly. The revised report was praised for its clarity and thoroughness. Nadia's experience highlights that constructive criticism is an opportunity to learn and overcome challenges effectively. Another important aspect of overcoming challenges is managing unexpected financial stress. My friend Ahmed faced a sudden increase in household expenses due to an urgent repair at home. Instead of panicking, he reviewed his budget, prioritized essential expenses, and postponed non-urgent purchases. He also explored additional income opportunities to manage the situation. Within a few weeks, he stabilized his finances. Ahmed's story demonstrates that careful planning and adaptability help overcome financial challenges. Sometimes challenges test long-term perseverance. My friend Rihan decided to learn a new language, but initially, he struggled with pronunciation, grammar, and vocabulary retention. Instead of giving up, he practiced daily, used language apps, and joined conversation groups. Over several months, his skills improved dramatically, and he gained confidence speaking with native speakers. Rehan's experience shows that consistent effort over time is essential for overcoming challenging learning goals. Facing challenges often involves making difficult but necessary decisions. My friend Miriam faced a dilemma about whether to leave her comfortable job for a new opportunity that required relocation. She carefully evaluated pros and cons, discussed the situation with her husband, and considered long-term goals. After thoughtful reflection, she decided to accept the opportunity, which ultimately advanced her career. Miriam's story demonstrates that deliberate decision-making is crucial when overcoming life-changing challenges. Another challenge is maintaining mental health under stress. My friend Fahad works long hours in a demanding profession and sometimes feels mentally exhausted. He started practicing meditation, scheduling short breaks, and setting realistic daily goals. By managing stress proactively, he maintained productivity and emotional stability. Fahad's experience shows that taking care of mental health is vital for overcoming continuous challenges effectively. Sometimes challenges require creative solutions in problem solving. My friend Layla faced a shortage of ingredients for a family dinner. Instead of canceling the meal, she experimented with alternative recipes using available ingredients. The result was a delicious meal that everyone enjoyed. Layla's story demonstrates that creativity and adaptability are essential skills for handling everyday challenges. Facing challenges also involves learning from personal mistakes. My friend Omar initially struggled with managing his team effectively. He realized that poor communication and unclear instructions led to misunderstandings. Instead of blaming others, he reflected on his actions, adjusted his communication style, and implemented structured processes. Over time, his team became more efficient and relationships improved. Omar's story highlights that reflecting on mistakes and making improvements is a powerful way to overcome challenges. Another common challenge is adapting to changes in professional responsibilities. My friend Fatima was promoted to lead a department which required skills she hadn't fully developed yet. She enrolled in leadership workshops, sought mentorship, and applied new strategies to manage her team. Her efforts led to increased confidence and successful team performance. Fatima's story shows that adapting to new responsibilities requires learning, patience, and practical application. Sometimes challenges involve handling unexpected interruptions. My friend Sarah was preparing for an important client meeting when her computer crashed. Instead of panicking, she switched to a backup system, rechecked her presentation, and conducted the meeting professionally. The client was satisfied, and the situation reinforced Sarah's confidence in managing crises. Her story demonstrates that preparation, calmness, and quick problem-solving help overcome unexpected challenges effectively. Facing challenges often requires balancing multiple priorities. My friend Khalid juggled work, family responsibilities, and personal development courses. Initially, he felt overwhelmed, but he created a schedule, set clear priorities, and adjusted routines when needed. By staying organized, he accomplished all tasks without feeling stressed. Khalid's experience shows that balancing priorities requires planning, discipline, and flexibility. Another challenge is maintaining motivation during long-term goals. My friend Lena wanted to complete a professional certification, but struggled with keeping up with study materials. She broke her study plan into small, achievable tasks, tracked progress, and rewarded herself for milestones. This approach kept her motivated, and she successfully completed the certification. Lena's story demonstrates that structured planning and incremental progress help overcome challenges associated with long-term goals. Sometimes challenges test emotional regulation in stressful situations. My friend Imran faced a disagreement with a team member during an important project. Instead of reacting impulsively, he took a moment to calm down, listened actively, and suggested a compromise that worked for both parties. The project continued smoothly, and the working relationship improved. Imran's story shows that managing emotions effectively is essential when facing interpersonal challenges. Facing challenges also involves leveraging past experiences to solve new problems. My friend Rihan once dealt with a complicated technical issue at work. He recalled a similar problem he had encountered before and applied the lessons learned to resolve the situation efficiently. His previous experience became a valuable resource for overcoming the current challenge. Rihan's story highlights that reflecting on past experiences helps in tackling new obstacles successfully. Another challenge is developing patience and persistence in skill acquisition. My friend Hassan wanted to learn painting, but early attempts were frustrating. Instead of giving up, he practiced regularly, studied techniques online, and sought feedback from friends. Over months, his skills improved significantly. Hassan's experience shows that patience and consistent practice are essential for overcoming challenges and learning new skills. Sometimes challenges involve finding solutions with limited resources. My friend Nadia had to organize a community event on a tight budget. She sought volunteers, borrowed equipment, and creatively repurposed materials. The event was a success, and the community appreciated the effort. Nadia's story demonstrates that resourcefulness and creativity are vital for overcoming financial and logistical challenges. Overcoming challenges often requires building mental resilience through daily routines. My friend Khalid faced stressful days at work, juggling tight deadlines and multiple projects. At first, he felt overwhelmed and exhausted. Instead of letting stress dominate, he developed a morning routine that included light exercise, meditation, and reviewing his priorities for the day. These small, consistent actions strengthened his mental resilience, helping him stay focused and calm when facing high-pressure situations. Khalid's experience demonstrates that regular routines can prepare the mind to handle challenges effectively. Another challenge is managing sudden changes in professional expectations. My friend Sana was tasked with leading a high-stakes project for the first time. She had no prior experience managing such a team and initially felt intimidated. Instead of panicking, she researched leadership techniques, sought advice from experienced colleagues, and created a structured plan to guide her team. By adapting quickly, she successfully led the project to completion and gained confidence in her managerial abilities. Sana's story shows that proactive learning and flexibility are key tools when confronting new challenges. Sometimes challenges involve navigating conflicting responsibilities. My friend Rihan had to manage his work assignments while also supporting his wife during a major family event. At first, he felt stressed trying to handle both efficiently. He created a schedule, delegated tasks where possible, and communicated openly with his wife about priorities. With careful planning, he managed to complete work responsibilities and actively participate in family duties. Rihan's experience highlights that balancing responsibilities requires organization, communication, and practical problem solving. Facing challenges can also require enhancing emotional intelligence. My friend Aisha struggled when dealing with a team member who frequently missed deadlines. Instead of reacting angrily, she observed patterns in behavior, listened to the team member's concerns, and provided guidance to help them improve. The team member responded positively, and team performance improved. Aisha's story demonstrates that understanding emotions, both yours and others, can turn challenging interactions into opportunities for growth. Another example involves overcoming fear of trying new approaches. My friend Omar wanted to implement a new customer service system at his cafe, but was concerned about potential resistance from his staff. Instead of avoiding change, he explained the benefits clearly, trained the staff, and gathered feedback during implementation. The transition went smoothly, and customer satisfaction improved. Omar's story shows that facing challenges often requires courage to innovate and careful guidance to bring others along. Challenges often require strategic planning and preparation. My friend Miriam wanted to host a large family gathering during a busy period. Initially, she worried about logistics, coordination, and potential problems. Instead of worrying, she created a detailed plan, listed tasks, assigned responsibilities to family members, and prepared contingency options. On the day of the event, everything ran smoothly. Miriam's story demonstrates that foresight, planning, and preparation are powerful tools to overcome complex challenges. Sometimes challenges involve adapting to physical limitations. My friend Fahad suffered a minor injury that prevented him from continuing his usual sports routine. Instead of giving up on physical activity, He consulted a physiotherapist and discovered alternative exercises that were safe and effective. Over time, he regained strength and maintained his fitness. Fahad's story highlights that adaptation and creative solutions help overcome challenges related to physical limitations. Facing challenges often involves developing problem-solving skills under pressure. My friend Nadia was responsible for organizing a local community event when a key vendor canceled last minute. Instead of panicking, she quickly explored alternatives, contacted backup vendors, and rearranged the schedule. The event went ahead successfully, and participants appreciated the smooth coordination. Nadia's story demonstrates that effective problem-solving involves calm analysis, creative thinking, and swift action. Another challenge is learning to manage frustration in difficult situations. My friend Imran experienced repeated delays in a major construction project due to unforeseen issues. Instead of letting frustration take over, he analyzed the problem systematically, identified controllable factors, and focused on solutions. By maintaining a constructive attitude, he completed the project on time. Imran's story shows that managing frustration helps maintain clarity and focus when facing complex challenges. Sometimes challenges involve strengthening self-discipline. My friend Layla wanted to maintain a consistent study routine while preparing for an advanced exam. She struggled initially, often distracted by social media and household tasks. She implemented time-blocking techniques, set specific study goals, and used reminders to stay on track. Over time, she built strong self-discipline and completed her preparation successfully. Layla's story demonstrates that self-discipline transforms small, consistent actions into achievements, making it easier to overcome challenging goals. Facing challenges often requires enhancing decision-making skills. My friend Tariq faced a dilemma about whether to invest in upgrading technology for his small business. He researched options thoroughly, analyzed potential risks and benefits, and consulted with experts. After careful evaluation, he made an informed decision that increased business efficiency and profitability. Tariq's story highlights that thoughtful decision-making is critical when facing complex challenges with significant consequences. Another challenge is overcoming mental fatigue during intensive tasks. My friend Fatima worked on preparing a lengthy report with multiple revisions. She felt mentally exhausted, but decided to implement short breaks, practice mindfulness, and delegate certain sections to colleagues. This approach improved focus and reduced fatigue, allowing her to complete the report effectively. Fatima's story shows that managing mental energy is essential for overcoming demanding tasks. Sometimes challenges involve building confidence in new roles. My friend Hassan was promoted to lead a project team, but he initially doubted his ability to guide the team effectively. He attended leadership workshops, studied team dynamics, and practiced giving clear instructions. Gradually, his confidence increased, and the project progressed smoothly. Hassan's story demonstrates that confidence grows through preparation, learning, and practical experience. Facing challenges can also mean improving communication under pressure. My friend Sarah had to present a critical proposal to senior executives, and the stakes were high. Instead of succumbing to pressure, she prepared visual aids, rehearsed her speech, and anticipated potential questions. Her calm and clear presentation impressed the executives, and the proposal was approved. Sarah's story shows that preparation and clarity help overcome challenges in high-stakes communication. Another challenge is learning to remain adaptable in uncertain circumstances. My friend Rihan's company suddenly shifted to remote work. Initially, he found it difficult to adjust to the new workflow and communication methods. He created a structured routine, set up a dedicated workspace, and explored digital collaboration tools. Over time, he adapted successfully and became more productive than before. Rihan's story demonstrates that adaptability is essential for overcoming sudden changes. Sometimes challenges involve enhancing creativity to solve problems. My friend Nadia faced a shortage of essential materials for a community project. Instead of canceling the project, she creatively repurposed available resources, involved volunteers, and redesigned tasks. The project was completed successfully, and the community appreciated the innovation. Nadia's story shows that creative problem-solving transforms obstacles into opportunities. Facing challenges often requires building resilience after setbacks. My friend Omar started a small business that initially faced poor sales. Instead of quitting, he analyzed what went wrong, improved marketing strategies, and sought mentorship from experienced entrepreneurs. Gradually, sales increased, and his business became profitable. Omar's story demonstrates that resilience and persistence are essential to overcome setbacks and achieve long-term success. Another challenge is maintaining motivation in repetitive tasks. My friend Layla works in a data entry position that can be monotonous. She developed strategies to stay motivated, including setting small goals, taking brief breaks, and rewarding herself for achievements. By staying focused and positive, she completed tasks efficiently and avoided burnout. Layla's story shows that maintaining motivation requires creativity and consistency, even in repetitive situations. Sometimes challenges involve managing conflicts effectively. My friend Adil faced a disagreement with a colleague regarding project responsibilities. Instead of reacting defensively, he calmly discussed his perspective, listened to the colleague's point of view, and proposed a fair solution. The conflict was resolved, and the project proceeded smoothly. Adil's story demonstrates that communication, empathy, and patience are key to overcoming interpersonal challenges. Facing challenges also requires practicing mindfulness to reduce stress. My friend Fatima experienced frequent stress due to a demanding job. She began practicing mindfulness meditation for 10 minutes each day, which helped her stay present, reduce anxiety, and respond thoughtfully to challenges rather than reacting impulsively. Fatima's story highlights that mindfulness strengthens mental clarity and resilience, essential for managing daily challenges effectively. Another common challenge is developing strategic thinking for long-term success. My friend Tariq wanted to expand his business, but faced limited resources. He carefully studied market trends, prioritized investments, and created a phased growth plan. By executing the strategy step by step, he successfully expanded the business without financial strain. Tariq's story shows that strategic planning allows challenges to be approached in a structured and effective manner. Sometimes challenges involve building patience when outcomes are delayed. My friend Hassan was waiting for results from a competitive exam he had worked hard to prepare for. Initially, he felt anxious and impatient. Instead of letting stress take over, he focused on other productive activities and maintained a positive outlook. When the results were announced, he had achieved a high score. Hassan's story demonstrates that patience and maintaining focus on what can be controlled help overcome challenges involving uncertainty. Facing challenges often requires seeking knowledge and advice from experts. My friend Nadia wanted to launch a community initiative, but lacked experience in project management. She attended workshops, consulted mentors, and researched best practices. With guidance and careful planning, the project was executed successfully. Nadia's story highlights that learning from experts helps navigate challenges effectively and increases the likelihood of success. Another challenge is balancing professional growth with personal commitments. My friend Omar wanted to pursue further studies while managing work and family responsibilities. He created a structured schedule, delegated household tasks to his wife where possible, and prioritized study time efficiently. This balance allowed him to excel professionally and personally. Omar's story demonstrates that careful planning and prioritization are essential for overcoming complex life challenges. Sometimes challenges involve building confidence to take initiative. My friend Sarah noticed inefficiencies in her team's workflow, but hesitated to suggest changes. After reflecting on the benefits, she proposed improvements to her manager and offered practical solutions. The changes were implemented successfully, improving team productivity. Sarah's story shows that courage to take initiative and propose solutions helps overcome challenges and creates positive impact. Overcoming challenges often requires building persistence through small daily actions. My friend Rehan wanted to improve his public speaking skills, but struggled with nervousness and forgetfulness during presentations. Instead of avoiding practice, he committed to speaking for 5 minutes every day in front of a mirror, gradually increasing the time and complexity of his speeches. After several weeks, his confidence grew, and he was able to deliver presentations smoothly at work. Rehan's story highlights that consistent small efforts can overcome fear and develop competence over time. Another challenge is adapting to unexpected family responsibilities. My friend Fatima had to take care of her elderly parents while managing her professional work. Initially, the combined responsibilities seemed overwhelming. Instead of getting frustrated, she created a schedule dividing her day into blocks for work, caregiving, and personal rest. She also communicated openly with her husband to share responsibilities efficiently. Fatima's experience demonstrates that clear planning and teamwork help manage multiple responsibilities without feeling overwhelmed. Sometimes challenges involve overcoming self-doubt. My friend Omar was hesitant to apply for a leadership role because he felt underqualified. Instead of letting doubt stop him, he listed his skills, achievements, and past successes, and sought feedback from trusted colleagues. With this clarity, he applied for the position and was accepted. Omar's story shows that acknowledging one's strengths and building confidence are key to overcoming self-doubt. Facing challenges can also require improving focus and concentration. My friend Sana works in a busy office and was constantly distracted by noise and interruptions. She created a focused workspace, set specific time slots for deep work, and limited multitasking. Within weeks, her productivity improved significantly, and tasks were completed with higher quality. Sana's story demonstrates that focus and concentration are essential skills for navigating complex challenges. Another example involves handling unexpected financial pressures. My friend Khalid's home required urgent repairs that he had not budgeted for. Instead of panicking, he evaluated his finances, prioritized essential expenditures, and postponed non-urgent spending. He also explored small freelance opportunities to generate extra income. Within a few months, he managed the situation without stress. Khalid's story highlights that proactive financial planning and adaptability are crucial for overcoming monetary challenges. Challenges often require developing problem-solving skills in high-pressure situations. My friend Aisha had to organize a professional workshop when a key speaker canceled last minute. Instead of letting the event fail, she contacted alternative speakers, rearranged the schedule, and communicated the changes effectively to attendees. The workshop proceeded smoothly, receiving positive feedback. Aisha's story shows that calm problem-solving under pressure can turn potential failures into successful outcomes. Sometimes challenges involve learning to manage emotions in professional settings. My friend Imran faced criticism during a team meeting about a project he led. Instead of reacting defensively, he listened carefully, acknowledged valid points, and proposed solutions to improve outcomes. The team responded positively, and the project's quality improved. Imran's story highlights that emotional regulation and openness to feedback are crucial for overcoming interpersonal challenges. Facing challenges often requires building time management skills. My friend Layla had multiple deadlines for work projects and personal commitments. She created a priority list, estimated the time required for each task, and allocated specific hours for focused work. By sticking to her schedule, she met all deadlines efficiently without feeling stressed. Layla's experience demonstrates that effective time management is essential when dealing with multiple responsibilities. Another challenge is developing resilience after failures. My friend Fahad attempted to launch a new product at his business, but initial sales were disappointing. Instead of giving up, he analyzed customer feedback, adjusted the marketing strategy, and improved the product. Gradually, sales increased, and the business gained a stronger reputation. Fahad's story shows that learning from setbacks and persisting through challenges leads to long-term success. Sometimes challenges involve enhancing interpersonal communication skills. My friend Miriam faced misunderstandings with colleagues on a collaborative project. She decided to hold regular meetings, clarify expectations, and actively listen to others' perspectives. The communication improvements led to a more cohesive team and successful project completion. Miriam's story highlights that effective communication is a powerful tool for overcoming interpersonal challenges. Facing challenges can also mean developing creativity in problem solving. My friend Omar had to decorate a community center for an event on a limited budget. He repurposed old decorations, coordinated volunteers, and used innovative design ideas. The result was visually impressive, and attendees appreciated the creativity. Omar's story shows that creativity transforms resource limitations into opportunities for success. Another challenge is maintaining motivation during repetitive or monotonous tasks. My friend Rihan works in data analysis, a role that requires extensive attention to detail. He used techniques like setting small goals, taking structured breaks, and rewarding himself for completing sections of work. This approach helped him stay motivated, maintain accuracy, and complete tasks efficiently. Rehan's story demonstrates that structured strategies sustain motivation in repetitive situations.